Hey, what is going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another video. I hope you guys are doing really well. Today I'm back for a video all about Alex Neil. Yes, let's talk about Alex Neil. I made a video about Alex Neil actually with Chris earlier on in the season, and my opinions are fairly similar to that. So there's a few tweaks. I mean, Alex Neil has been under a lot of criticism recently, so that's the reason why I wanted to come back, and also because loads of people have been tweeting me saying and Snapchatting me saying, Jack, do you think Alex Neil should be sacked? Do you think he's the man for us? So instead of replying to each and every one of you, I thought I'd just put this video out and see what your guys' thoughts are, because I was actually really surprised at how many people want Alex Neil out. The main sort of article I've read regarding this is by a guy called Cameron. I'm sure a lot of you know him. I'll link his Twitter in the description and also the article. And he went from being extremely positive to going to Swansea and now being extremely pessimistic. And I think some of his points are valid. If you read the article, you might agree with it, you might not. It's been sort of a 50-50 split on what people think of it. But basically, he says Alex Neil is out of his depth and should go. And his man management isn't as good as we all think. And stuff like that. Look, opinions are great. That's why I love doing this. But I don't agree with Cameron on this point. I think Alex Neil is still the manager for Norwich City. Even if we get relegated, I believe that Alex Neil is the manager. Now, when Alex Neil came into Norwich City, I think we were 11th, 12th in the Championship. Did any of us expect to go up straight away? Or did we expect maybe finish near the playoffs first season and then go up second season? I think the plan always with Alex Neil was long term. He's young. His only previous experience was at Hamilton. Admittedly, he'd done a fantastic job there, but he had no English football experience whatsoever except for playing, and that was at a very low level. I think it was at Barnsley. So David McNally had identified a manager here who wasn't your Sam Allardyce or your Neil Lennon, who's been around, moves from club to club, does a decent job, and then sort of buggers off. This guy is a man who, if all went right, which first season it did, it couldn't have gone better, is a Norwich City manager for the next 10, 15 years. That's my opinion on why we appointed Alex Neil. It was never going to be instant success. It was in this case with the promotion, and it just was a fairy tale ending to last season. But we knew that this season was going to be tough. I've said from the start of the season that the only reason we will stay in this league is because of our manager. Our squad is probably the worst on paper in the league. Let's all be realistic here. It is. You look at Newcastle, who are below us at the moment, have spent something like, I think it's like 80 million in the past 2 seasons. They've got a stadium that fills 50-odd thousand each week. A really well-respected club who's played European football in the past 10 years compared to us, who's spent like 20 million, not even net spend, this is just outgoings, 20 million on signings in January. And that was like, Jesus, we've gone all out here. Let's not be unrealistic here. We are probably the worst team in this league. And I mean, we've got some decent players. You look at Robbie Brady, Stephen Naismith, Tim Close, maybe Nathan Redmond. Yes, we've got some Premier League talent, but it was always going to be a fight. Now, it's very, very, very easy to get on someone's back when it's going wrong. And it's really easy to give praise when it's going right. I didn't see anybody giving stick when we beat Bournemouth at home 3-1. Or we beat Sunderland away from home 3-1. Or I didn't see anyone giving Alex Neil stick when we beat Manchester United away from home 2-1. That was because on that day it went right. It's the same with football all the while. You go from loving someone one week to hating them the next week. But in this case, let's look at the Manchester United game, right? We went and beat them 2-1. We then went to Tottenham, I think it was, the following week. Or it was around that, played exactly the same team, got walked off the park 3-0. Alex Neil can do absolutely nothing about that. He's deployed the same tactics, the same team, and we've been beaten away from home at Tottenham 3-0. I think it was something like that. So the argument here is that the players aren't fighting for Alex Neil anymore. I think that is complete and utter bollocks. I think the players realise that they are in a sticky situation. Of course, we've got big egos at the club. Kyle Lafferty, Malumbu, who's a Premier League regular before. Other players who you might want to mention who you don't think is pulling their weight. I fully believe that every single Norwich City player in this team is pulling their weight. You look at Leicester, you look at Chelsea. They're prime examples of where we bloody went in hard and didn't get any points. That's got to be demoralising. They're humans at the end of the day. If you go 1-0 down, there's tons of pressure on you. Of course, it's going to be very tough to pull you out of that. I believe that the players are still fighting for Alex Neil. I believe that Alex Neil is still a very good manager, and I stick by my word that he will be managing a top 4 club in the next 10 years. I think he will. I think that Alex Neil can keep us up this season. Let's not forget that Sunderland are only a point above us and Newcastle are still below us. They play each other this weekend, and then we have to play Newcastle and Sunderland both at home in the forthcoming weeks. And let's also not forget, I'm going to tweet this picture out, so go over to my Twitter. It's a graph of QPR's situation the season we stayed up under Lambert. I think QPR stayed up as well that season. They were in a worse position than us at this point in this season, and I think from here on in, they lost every single one of their away games and won every single one of their home games, and they stayed up that season. That's all we have to do. Win up most of our home games, pick up a couple of points away against, I don't know, maybe West Brom, Everton at the end of the season, and we should be fine. Why are we suddenly writing us off? Yes, I know we've got 1 point from 9 games, but if you get in that losing mentality, it's going to carry on. All we need is one good result. Let's say we beat Man City at the weekend. On paper, it's not going to happen, but crazier things have happened this season. Leicester at this point last season had 19 points. They're currently top of the Premier League by 5 points. You know, crazy things happen. Let's say we beat Man City this weekend because they're resting players for the Champions League. I don't know. We then go to, who is it after that? West Brom. We pick up 3 points there. They're not really fighting for anything. We then have Newcastle and Sunderland at home. We draw to Sunderland, let's say, and we beat Newcastle. You're suddenly starting to pick up points. Now, I'm not saying Norwich City are safe. I'm realistic. It's going to be very tough to stay up. But the fact that everyone's criticising Alex Neil and it's suddenly all Alex Neil's fault is just outrageous to me. I don't know. Leave me your thoughts on Alex Neil. Maybe I'm being a bit defensive here because I really like Alex Neil. Maybe I am looking through my yellow tinted glasses. Maybe Alex Neil isn't as good as a manager as we all think. But I just think, mainly for loyalty and just for the fact that he has done good things here, it would be so stupid and rude to then go, nah, he's not good enough because he's only picked 1 point up in 9 games. He's never managed in the Premier League before. Come on, guys. Let's get behind the team. Let's get behind Alex Neil. We've got some big games coming up. Maybe if we're relegated by Everton, I'm not going to be so cheerful, but I genuinely think we are still going to stay up this season. We are out of control of anything that happens on that pitch. We just have to trust that the players and Alex Neil, which I do trust, have the capabilities of staying up this season. All we can do is cheer loud, get the songs going, and just get behind the boys, because it's much easier playing in a stadium full of chants than it is boos. That was inspirational, that wasn't. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave me your thoughts on Alex Neil. This is a really interesting debate. I want the comment section going. Check out my Twitter for a few different stats and diagrams, and also my Facebook page, and also my Snapchat, where I'm always yapping on, mainly about food. So thank you so much for watching. Cameron, a big thank you for writing this article. This inspired the whole video. So yeah, thanks very much. Peace out.